Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for an impromptu reading. With 2,000 of you stay behind, that's wonderful. It's a pleasure to have you. We're going to be reading a fan fiction. I've read the first paragraph and nothing more. We're going to read this. I'm going to be looking here when I'm reading, occasionally looking here, and if I take a long break to talk here, it's because it's the thing that I think, not the thing that's written down. So if it said something like, and Sean loved horses, I'd be like, totally. In particular, horse porn. It's actually the name of my Wi-Fi. I'm so excited to see what my neighbors say, because the name of the Wi-Fi network is horse porn. Okay. Here we go. Written Wednesday, November 17th, 2010. It is titled Day 9's True Love. The day started out completely standard. Day 9 woke up, stretched, cuddled Manfred one last time, and leapt out of bed. The leaping was made easier since he fell asleep wearing his superhero cape. Actually, he did that a lot lately, now that he thought of it. In fact, he realized that might be why he hadn't been on a date lately. ... Moving on. Period. Fuck you! Fuck you! I go on dates when I don't have a CSGO scrim to play in, or I'm not playing twos. That's fine. So what if I buy SpaghettiOs? They're delicious. Like I said, the day started out normally. 5-minute power wash, bear semen and a bagel for breakfast, and then the morning run. Oh, the morning run. A glorious way to start the day, especially for any one of the hundreds of girls that lined up outside Day 9's house to watch. With straining eyes and yearning hearts, they daily waited for him to appear from his cave. Fuck you! His green hazel eyes blazing, his hair a mess but sexy, his bulging muscles practically tearing his shirt off wherever he moved. It was quite a sight. As he jogged down the street, the line of girls cooed excitedly, watching his manly muscles ripple, a thin sheet of sweat, making it look like he had been dipped in butter. His arm hair blowing in the wind. If I were dipped in butter, I would eat my arm, like, right away. I'd be like, well, I guess I'm a caster, not a player, and I'd just take a bite out of that. If I deep-fried my arm, it would be gone tomorrow, and I would be fatter. Alright. Oh my, sighed one girl. He's so hot. I don't play video games because I'm a girl. Fuck you, that's sexist as hell. But I've heard he's totally awesome at some sort of computer thing. Maybe he'll have sex with me. Basically how it works. No! Screamed another girl. I gotta give her a different voice. No! Screamed another girl, running over to the first. I want to have sex with him! With that, the girls immediately took to pulling each other's hair and ripping each other's clothes off, as girls are wont to do when fighting. The first of the girls took advantage of the last of two opponents and tried to grab Day 9's attention by flirting and catcalling. But Day 9 would have none of it. He was focused on running and making himself more awesome. As each foot slapped the pavement, he just repeated his mantra to himself. Build pylons, build probes. Build pylons, build probes. Build pylons, build probes. And so passed by the girls without even so much as a glance. That is until something finally did grab his attention. What kind of transition sentence is that? That is until things occurred. He was still jogging when he noticed a lithe figure walking up ahead. Were all the other figures not lithe? That's insulting to them. These are hot girls, according to the story. I'm just trying to be consistent with the lore here. What caught Day 9's attention was the man's hair. Oh, it's a man. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't read that far ahead. Oh my god. Whoopsie daisies. Oh, whoopsie daisies. I understand the contrast. It's not lithe, it's man. That's the thing that contrasts. Because before we've had woman. Oof. It was almost stark white and honestly blinded him so much he ran into a stop sign. But what kept his attention on the man was that he seemed to be just strolling along, and as Day 9 watched, he suddenly skipped. Day 9 stopped short. Well, he had hit a stop sign. And stared. No, it couldn't be, he thought. My voice doesn't sound quite that ethereal and effeminate. Nah, couldn't be, he thought. He jogged up behind the person and tapped him on the shoulder. Uniden? Oh my god. Oh. This is gonna turn into a story of how, like, all Unit has to do is put on the condom, right? That's the way that fanfic would take this. It's gonna have me being like, Uniden, no! All you gotta do... Uniden. Uniden. Uniden, Day 9 inquired, hoping beyond hope that he was right. Hoping beyond hope. In the morning, do I run beyond run and eat beyond eat? And look beyond look. Oh my god. The roses smelled so good that I smelled beyond smell. Well, my knees hurt, so now I got a bicycle beyond bicycle to keep up with my health. He hoped beyond hope that he was right. As the man turned, Day 9 gasped, taking in his tanned face, small, quick smile, and startled deep blue eyes. Ooh. Day 9 thought he could stare into those eyes forever. Ang! Uniden said. You're Day 9! The Day 9! Oh, yeah, Day 9 replied in a sultry tone, flexing his shiny butter-covered biceps. Yeah, I am. Uniden was beside himself. Never had he been in this presence of someone so great. He took in Day 9's crazy but ever stylish hair and his goofy yet adorable smile and immediately felt a stirring in his stomach. That's close but not where the penis is. If he's going to throw up, then that's where the stomach... I mean, maybe it's butterflies you're describing, but if you're talking about butter-covered biceps, you don't want to be like, and then Uniden began to burp. I think that's a little bit off. He thought that it could possibly be just hunger, since he had skipped breakfast. What a weird detail to include in there. What a weird thing to throw in there. By the way, in all this, Uniden didn't have a healthy breakfast. He was kind of tired around 2. But he also thought that Day 9 was fucking hot. Ooh, thank you, author. Finally, he looked down and noticed that Day 9 was not wearing pants. Fanfiction. Fanfiction. Two people were looking at each other, and one of them all of a sudden kind of had a rumbly in his tummy. He didn't take Pepto-Bismol. He kind of had an allergy, but he needed something like that. Also, Day 9 had no pants on. And yet they eye-fucked each other, slowly and sexily in a way that would arouse one to do intercourse-wise things. There's some odd details dripped in here, I feel. Let me go back. Day 9, you know you don't have any pants on, Uniden stammered out, not being able to draw his eyes away from his enormous trust fund. Oh, really? Extended trust fund? Not my, like, extended thermal lance or something a little bit more in line? Where are we in here? Oh, that, Day 9 replied, smirking at the other's obvious staring. I never do. Anytime you see me with pants on in my show, it's just CGI. Now, speaking of no pants, how about you come back to my place and we do a little 1v1? I'm a slut! Oh my god. What a slutty little Day 9 that is. Just like, hey, I'm not wearing pants on my morning run as the women look on, and you've looked at me one time and I casted a replay of you where you were embarrassing. How about we go explore holes in my house? What do you say we go back to my place and then do something that after which I would warn people not to bring a black light into the house? I'm not subtle. What the hell? Okay, where are we? Day 9 wiggled his eyebrows at the suggestion. Well, how could Uniden say no to a request like that? Immediately after nodding his consent, Day 9 picked him up and flew back towards his house. Remember? The cape? Zom, good Day 9, exclaimed Uniden. You can fly? Question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation, exclamation, question, exclamation, question, forward slash, exclamation, 111, forward slash, question mark, exclamation, question, exclamation, question mark. Why, yes, I can, bellowed Day 9, his booming voice echoing over the valley below. I live in a valley. I am Captain Thought Hammer. He paused for dramatic effect and then clarified. The hammer is my penis. That's written here. It says the hammer is my penis. That's what it says right here. When they arrived at Day 9's cave, you know, like the Bat Cave, but cooler. It's a cave. He gently set Uniden down and brushed his soft blonde hair behind his ear. The quick air travel had quite tousled it, and Day 9 thought it was just adorable. Unfortunately, Day 9 himself had to struggle to get a pigeon that had decided to roost on his head out of his own hair. That's an awkward detail and an awkward sentence construction. Day 9 laid down Uniden, and then the thought that occurred to him in the head that he had was that he should stroke it, because he found it adorable. But at that very particular moment, a particular pigeon had persnicketedly rested upon his head in a way in which he did not like, because his hair was not meant for pigeons, nor was it meant for anything but the loving hands of Uniden, so he removed the pigeon. You know, like, the flow of the sentence is important when you're doing sexy talk, because, like, if I'm trying to do a little sexy motion to you, there's going to be a deliberate cadence to it, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be this. It's not going to be this. But I'm just saying, if you're trying to be sexy, you're going to... There's some certain motions you got to do with confidence and with deliberate choice behind them. You can't just suddenly be like, hey, I'm really excited to be doing this, so how about you take off your shirt, and then I take off my shirt, and then you take off your shirt, but like we do it like half at a time. Is that cool? Is that cool with everyone? Okay, alright, there's half of yours. My turn, take it off. Like, it's too much. You gotta smooth it out. Smooth it out. There's too much stuttering, too much staggered detail. But let's come back to this. Suddenly, soft Spanish music started to echo through the cave. Uniden turned to find that Day 9 had disappeared into some adjacent room, only to appear moments later with a tray of food. I'm so fat. Goat cheese on baguettes with sun-dried tomatoes, he offered the stunned Uniden. He hesitantly took a piece and filled his mouth with the most delicious thing he had ever tasted. He filled his mouth with the most delicious thing he had ever tasted. In fact, it was so enormous and delicious that it felt like it had a knee. Tasty, right? I'll give you something tasty. Why don't you come to the bedroom and I'll show you my colossus? The two exited the room to the sound of trumpets, completely killing the mood. The end. Is there a euphemism in my pants, or is that literally my penis?